Closed. You'll have a trailing foot free to do a feather. Remember, the purpose of a feather is to get you to banjo position, contrabody movement position. So anytime you do a feather of any kind, because there's feathers, back feathers, finishes, curve feathers, lots of different feathers, they all are going to always end in banjo position. Okay? So when you do just a plain, everyday, ordinary feather, it's just a plain, straight, basically straight feather. A little tiny curvature is fine, but not a lot. Okay. So when you do your feather, you're both going to step through heel to toe on that first step. Then your second step, he's going to bring the ladies, turn her to face him here. And his third step, he's going to have his upper body frame turned a little bit to the right, and he's stepping through with his right foot, and he's putting himself in what's called a contrabody movement position, or a slicing type of position, okay? And when he takes that step, wait a minute, let me get there too. Can you go back where you were? Okay. So when you take your first step together, you take your second step, bringing her around. So when you take that third step together, he's crossing his thighs, and so is she. So you're crossing your thighs in kind of a slicing step. And now you're done your banjo position. So now he's going to be able to step outside of her for whatever comes next, because we're in banjo. Okay? So the feather, 3 forward steps for the man, and the ladies, depending on where she is, whether she's taking 3 back steps or she's turning, whatever the case may be, feather is slow, quick, quick. And we end up in banjo position, lead foot free. Okay? Dancing it had it in it, so I needed to teach it. So that's hesitation change, 2-way changes for both people. Normally you'll be in closed or banjo to start. He's going to step back, commencing right face turns. So remember that right face turns happen early, left face turns happen late. So he's going to step back, commence right face turn, and then he's going to step side and forward to close position, and he's going to turn approximately 3/8 of a turn total. So he's stepping back, commencing turn, and he's going to finish his turn to side and forward, diagonal line and center, lead foot free. And that's your hesitation change. So however you want to think of it, as a slow, slow, or a slow, quick, quick, because you've got 2 things you're doing on the last part. So the first one, you're taking a slow 1. The second one, you're taking a step and you're drawing the feet together. Okay? So if you want to think of it as a quick, quick, or if you want to think of it as a slow, slow, that's either way is fine. It gets a whole measure any way you look at it. So hesitation change, 1, 2. 2-way changes. Ends up with the lead foot free. Okay. Mark to semi, remember. Trade places, go out to semi-closed. Would you please take the forward step, not a side step? Okay. So after we've done our telemark, we do our half natural. That's one where he comes across in front to close position. And then our change of direction, hesitation change, 1, 2. Okay, it's called a hover fall away. And in phase 4, are similar. One turns, the other doesn't. Okay? So if we do a hover fall away, like for instance, out of our telemark to semi, we're in semi-closed position with a trailing foot free. And we do a hover fall away. There's no turn to it. We're gonna step through, we're gonna step forward, rise, and we're gonna recover back to a semi-closed position. No turn, we're still facing exactly where we were. Okay? Now, if we do a natural hover fall away, we're gonna turn 1/4 to our right. Because it's a natural move, means we're turning right face. So he is going to step forward, but as he steps forward, he's going to commence turn, coming around in front of the ladies, cutting me off. Then he's going to continue that forward movement, bringing me to semi-closed position, diagonal reverse and wall. And then we both recover back in the semi-closed position. Now we're facing diagonal reverse line dance and wall. So you can see if one turns and one doesn't, if you've got two people on the floor, one turning and one not, you could very easily collide. So make sure that if you're dancing a dance and they cue hover fall away, don't turn it. If they cue natural hover fall away, turn it. Okay? Because it's setting you up for a different outcome. Okay? So if we do natural hover fall away, slow, quick, quick, back and back lock back, we're going this way. But if we do a hover fall away, turn it, hover fall away, back and a back lock back, we're going exactly opposite, okay? So it's really, 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 really important that you do turn when you're supposed to, but don't turn when you're not supposed to, okay? And I know, once we get up dancing 4s and 5s, the naturals just feel so much better because it feels better, that rotation, rather than
It does.
staying. But think of the other dancers on the floor and think of yourself if you were to turn it and back up into somebody. You wouldn't feel very good about it. So make sure that if it's a plain old hover fall away, do a plain old hover fall away, okay? So you're here. When you do that slip pivot, fellas, don't turn it to face center. Even though it's a slip, don't turn it to face center. You step back, you slip the ladies in, and then you're gonna just take a step forward down line of dance diagonal wall. So this is one of those exceptions to the rule. You're not gonna hardly turn at all on that slip. If you turn, you're gonna correct it back the other direction, okay? With that forward step afterwards. So hover fall away, slip pivot, 2, 3. Okay? Because if you turn that slip to face diagonal center, and then it almost always is going to be followed by either a half natural, a maneuver, or something like that, and you're headed diagonal center, it's very, very awkward feeling. Okay? So right, which has a 1/4 turn right face built into it. So as he's taken the first step forward, you're turning a 1/4, or it's commencing turn. So it's a natural hover fall away, turn, turn, and step back in semi-closed position. So the ladies have to follow him around and don't end up here. Okay? So you have to follow him staying in semi-closed position. So he has to have a nice strong frame, and so does she, to keep her in that semi-closed position. Don't allow her to do this. Okay? So you're both gonna step forward, he's coming across in front. Now, if you let your frame break, as he comes across, I'm gonna go here. Because I'm thinking, okay, he doesn't want me where I am. He doesn't want me to be semi. Yeah, right. So you've got to make sure that you've got both of your nice, good, solid frames and you stay in semi-closed. 1, 2, 3. So we're still in semi-closed or promenade. We're facing reverse line of dance diagonal wall. But we have our lead foot free, just like we did at the end of the hover fall away, except we're quarter turn. Now when we do our slip pivot, we actually get to turn our slip. So we're gonna step back like a normal slip pivot. Now he's gonna turn his quarter turn on his slip, but he's gonna slip the ladies to banjo, not to closed. So he's gonna slip her to banjo, and then you take one more step down line of dance, diagonal wall, and we end up with a tread and foot free.
Do we know when we do the slip that go to banjo?
Turning a quarter, staying in semi, slip pivot, turns a quarter back the other direction, and then we're ready to go, half natural,